Hey guys, and welcome back to another episode of Tap In. Tonight I am really excited. We have an artist all the way from Memphis, Tennessee, Kenny Reinard. So this is Tap In with Kenny. And this one is going to hit deep. This one is going to get controversial. It's going to get real. It's going to be amazing, and I cannot wait to get him on here and talk about his music, his journey. This man has a past that a lot of people would never make it through, and I'm super inspired by his journey and his music. I listened to his album like I like to do with every artist that I interview multiple times, and then obviously right before, and it's super deep, it's very heavy, and I cannot wait to pick his brain. So we're gonna give everyone a few minutes we're gonna wait for Kenny and then a few more people to join. All right, so let's see if we can get him on here. Kenny, please send me an invite to join the live and we will get this going. You guys are not ready for this. Okay, we have a couple little. Okay, I see you here. Let me just see. Just bear with us real quick. Okay. I'm going to try to send you an invite. Okay, let's see. Sometimes we have technical difficulties. All right, hold on one second. I'm going to try to add you this way. Invitation sent. Okay, I sent you an invite. So accept it, and then we can join the. Excited for this, you guys. His album High, Hell, and Great Heights hits hard. He is from Lagodi Entertainment, and he is joining us right now. Are you there, Kenny?
What's up? What's up? How are y'all doing? I don't know if my video is working, but is my audio?
I can hear you. How are you doing this evening?
Awesome. I'm pretty good. How are you?
I'm doing fantastic. Listen, I was just telling everyone how I like to listen to everyone's album and their music right before the interview so that I can get deep into the mind of Kenny, okay? And
that makes sense.
I just want to tell you, your album High, Hell, and Great Heights it hit really hard. Tell us about this album.
All right. So for Hell and Great Heights, it's metaphorically, it's about falling off of a mountain. And it's about finding, you climb up this mountain the entire time in the hopes of finding something good at the top, correct? But you find the exact opposite. And it's a metaphor that I kind of came up with to relate to addiction, because that is, in a sense, well, not even in a sense, it explains addiction perfectly to me, because that's exactly what it is. You're climbing up to get to this spot that, you can't really reach. It's really an improper, it doesn't exist per se. And it would have been better if you just stayed on the ground. But that's like the
that type of what's the right word for this? A lot of people don't have the determination to stay on the ground, though. They want to have fun. They want to just see where it goes, and that's where everybody goes wrong.
Right. Well, yeah, no, mountain climbing's fun. People, but it's and that's just kind of like with the idea. It was an acronym for something else at one point when I first initially came up with the concept.
Okay.
And I kind of changed it to Hell and Great Heights because it was more easy to digest for everybody, and I didn't want to have the original metaphor and be too edgy or too out there and not be able to be relatable, because I do feel like almost anybody can listen to it and learn something.
But what I love about you is that you're such a creator in the aspect of not really caring about controversial topics. You stand 110% on who you are and on your music. We spoke on the phone for a while actually the other night, and I was so inspired by our conversation. I cannot wait to get into it. So you are with Lagodi Entertainment, correct?
Yes, ma'am. Yep. Been with Lagodi Entertainment for going on 4 years.
Which is amazing. Okay, so your intro to your album from High, Hell, and Great Heights. Tell us about your intro, because that hit really hard.
Yeah, I see. I'm so glad that I decided to add that. It was actually a last minute addition to the album. Maybe like the third song I made before it was over with. But I wanted one song on there where I just rapped straight through. 4 minutes. Just rap.
Yeah.
And it also ended up the way that I wrote it in the parking garage at my job, waiting to go to work over the course of like 2 mornings.
Okay.
And I was just like, damn, this really sets the vibe for the entire project. And
I hit really hard.
it's that's just some like I wanted to start it out on some straight rap, and then I also wanted it kind of just became something where it was like, oh, this is like I can set the entire scene with this because the original intro was Never See Me Again, featuring Lord Byron sound.
Okay.
But yeah, that was a late edition, and like that's one of my favorites too. Thank you for asking about that one. I barely ever get questions about it.
No, honestly, like I listened to your whole album. I loved everything. I have a favorite song. We're gonna get into it later about that. But I was like, damn, this intro though.
hmm
Felt like it was super deep. What was the inspiration behind the message in your intro?
Um, it basically just is trying to like the OD next to the OJ at the Whole Foods, like all that. Like about the it's about how the more things change in communities, you can change, the settings of a community or like the way that it looks aesthetically,
Yeah.
but it's still the same issues going on.
Yeah.
And then it basically was just like introducing myself as, the character, and yeah, basically just setting the tone.
I love that. My favorite song was The Scoreboard. You give me, okay, so if I can, I don't know if you know who Cal Scrooby is, but you give me Cal Scrooby and Eminem vibes.
Okay.
Yeah, you
Uh,
are extremely talented and super deep, and I absolutely love your music. That was my favorite song. So tell us about The Scoreboard.
which one?
The Scoreboard? It was my favorite song
Um,
on the album.
what, three, I'm sorry. So, so what's the number? Is it
It was my favorite song on your album, The Scoreboard. It,
scoreboard?
it
Is
was
that what you think?
okay. So tell us about. So you're from Memphis, Tennessee.
Yeah, yeah.
So tell us about your upbringing.
Um, born and raised in Memphis, Tennessee, still here. My mom and my dad, they divorced when I was young, but they both, uh, they co-parented very well. I have two very good parents, thankfully. My mother, she passed away recently, but they both, I was blessed to have been around two people who loved me equally, and whenever there was a situation, even if they weren't on the best terms with each other, they were able to come together to meet whatever need that I had going on.
It's amazing.
But other than that, man, just regular Memphis, like Memphis shit. I don't know if like I can cuss on here or not.
You can.
Okay, yeah, like regular Memphis shit. Like people, wrecking cars and just normal everyday stuff. My grandpa had me like working doing asphalt by the time I was like 10 years old, so I learned a good work ethic early.
Important.
Then became a teenager, or like really I was like 13, 14, and I like fell in love with rap. I fell in love with hip hop, and I was already writing a lot to begin with,
Okay.
and it just kind of like fused into what I'm doing now, and uh, also had some missteps along the way, and learned from those, and it wasn't a bad way to grow up. At the end of the day, I would call it, I wouldn't trade it. I would go back and do it again.
Absolutely.
Probably all the same. That's gonna sound crazy for those who know me, but I'm a big believer in learning in the journey.
Absolutely. But at 15 though, because at 15 you're still a baby. Because I mean, I'm almost 38, so I'm like, oh my God, 15 is such a baby.
Oh
But
yeah.
you're such a good artist and a writer and a creator at that time is so inspirational to so many children out there. How did you know you wanted to be a rapper?
It was I fell in love with hip hop and excuse me, sorry. I fell in love with hip hop. Nas, Lupe Fiasco, Eminem, DMX,
You sound like
Andre
Eminem.
3000, just like the classic, People 3 6 Mafia, obviously. Can't forget Mike Jones. fucking Mike Jones. And I just kind of wrote out a rap because I was trying to write this. I was working on one of my books or whatever, and I was like, nobody's gonna read this. I was like, I'm 13, I'm 15 years old. Nobody's gonna want it. Do it.
You're 15 years old, so I'm setting the stage. You're 13 writing a book?
Well, I mean, the first thing I published was when I was 13, but I think I was working on like one of the sequels. It was like a little short story series.
I love that, because what kid at 13 is like, hey, you know what? I'm gonna put the video games down. I'm gonna write a fucking book. Like, that's so cool. I love that. Okay.
I did both. It was I was a really grown kid.
I love that. Okay.
But the way that led into music was I needed I'm better at it now, but throughout my life I've really struggled with social anxiety.
Okay.
Where I don't like being around crowds of people. I don't like really meeting new people, even if it's people that I know. It's just hard for me to be around that many people, you know? So when I just was messing around and like decided to write a little rap and stuff, and then when I finally was able to rap it all the way through, I felt like this gigantic this confidence boost. Like it felt like a solution to the issues that I'd had for most of my life. And the rest is history, honestly. I mean, I definitely didn't get into it with the intention on being huge, but when you find out that you're decent at something like that, you go all in because you have to try. You have to see how far you can take it.
So Kenny's being really humble right now. When he says decent, he's fucking like A-list status. He is a genius in the making, on the uprise, and I feel very blessed to be able to interview such a genius today. And just to know that you were 13 grinding it out, writing short stories and writing your own music at that age, there is no kid that I know that's average doing that kind of thing. Like, you are elite and such a genius. I absolutely love that. That's so inspiring for so many people out there.
Thank you so much. That's the goal. I mean, that's always been my goal, and that's turned into my goal as time has passed, and I've gotten older.
Yeah.
Is to, one, represent the people that aren't here with me to spread this vision, and two, just inspire the kids to do something more constructive or just learn. I mean, I'm not even asking them to be perfect. I'm not asking anybody to be perfect. Just learn from what
it's like, it's about accepting who you are as an individual, and there's so much peace and harmony and accepting who you are, even if you're not cut from the same cloth that the masses follow. And you definitely are not cut from the same cloth that the masses follow, because that's boring. You are different, and you embrace that, and that's something that you told me that was really important to you. So I love that for you.
Yeah, it's really important, and it's still a growing process, honestly, because it's like this year I've hit a new stride with being able to, with doing like podcasts, like stuff like we're doing now. Like that would have been something that would have, the idea of it would have been like way too big a few years ago. So it's always growing. You're always, developing these skills and becoming more at peace with yourself and more at peace with your environment and your circumstances.
Absolutely.
In my opinion.
Absolutely. I mean, growing and learning is something that we do every single day.
Absolutely.
And you were talking a little bit about social anxiety. So how does mental health play a part in your music?
My mental health is good at the moment because I have a motto that I've adopted called optimistic at all costs. And
I like that.
It backfires sometimes, but it's like if you go through a bunch of stuff, and I've been through a bunch of heavy stuff the past couple of years, and to prevent yourself from falling back into like things that you wouldn't be good for you, I feel like outlets and just positivity is like key. So that's kind of I just kind of like embraced that full on when I started going through the things that I was went through the past few years. I hope that answered it.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Absolutely. And you said when I talked to you on the phone that your mom was a really big inspiration for you growing up.
Oh yeah, man. She an inspiration and just like genetics, dude. She's a writer, so I'm a writer, and she gave me that gift, and that's like I'll be able to always have that like bond with her, even though she's gone. And then just as a regular just inspiration, she was freaking hilarious, dude. Like life was just funny when I was a kid. And she she always taught us to go after what we wanted and taught us the importance of like love and like, you know, make sure that if you like expressing real love for people if you have it, you know, and how important it can be to especially with kids, you know,
Yeah.
like, and how important it is to build like a good human, like to have like, cause like I feel like I have pretty decent values and whatnot. And a lot of that is because of my mom, my dad too. But, and then when she got cancer and stuff and the way that she fought her cancer, that's the strongest shit I'm ever going to see in my life. And it's just, it's profound. I still haven't really been able to break down exactly how much it means to me in words, but watching her fight that cancer the past, you know, 2 years especially, but 10 years of her life,
Yeah.
strongest thing I'm ever going to see. I've never like nothing comes close to it.
I'm so sorry that you had to go through that. It sounds like your relationship with your mother was extremely special and rare. And
Oh yeah.
you'll always have her with you. And I love that she inspires you to this day to create and be who you are authentically. It sounds like she really raised you right. So that has
Absolutely.
helps your mom.
And she's I believe in energy. You seem like an energy person as well. Like
Absolutely.
right. So like I feel like she's with me. You know, she's with me when I'm on stage. She was with me when I was at when I got my award a couple weekends ago. And I know she's proud. That was the whole goal. We talked about this before, you know, in the last year of her life. And
No, she's proud. Absolutely. So
thank
what
you.
award did you get? Tell us about your award you just got.
Well, all right. So shouts out to my team, Lagodi. Well, it's just Lagodi now, trademark, but formerly known as Lagodi Entertainment.
Okay.
We had our yearly event, Lagodi Palooza 2, or LGP2,
Okay.
down in Boonville, Mississippi. And I was the headliner on Friday night, the first night. And then the third night, we did these awards. Cody set up these awards, and my category that I was nominated in was Album of the Year.
Okay. I love
And
for the album.
yeah, what's up?
For the album that you sent me, the album High Hell and Great Heights.
Yeah, yeah, the very one. So we could back when the voting was happening, because this was voted on by people in Memphis, by my peers. This was not, you know, something that we picked or, you know, anybody. This was definitely voted on by the people.
Okay.
And when you could see the voting up until like the last 4 days back when it was still going on.
Okay.
And when we left it, I was really far ahead, and I was like, oh wow, this is crazy. Like I'm probably gonna win this thing, but I didn't know. And it was just really cool going up there and like hearing my name get called. And you know, man, me and Cody go way back. Me and Lauren, we're tight. We're super tight. I've known Cody since we were freaking 18, and you know, dumb as hell, trying to do the same thing that we're doing now, just not as legit. So it meant a lot to receive that award from him and Lauren, but also more that my people voted me in by that much. Like,
Yeah. You should be you know your mom is looking down being like, yes, I raised him right, thank God. Like he's finally, you know, you're doing it with your friends and your family, and I'm so happy. We have a Psycho Memphis on to talk to us as well. So welcome, Psycho Memphis.
whatever.
All right, so I want to know a little bit more. You told me that you struggled with addiction in the past.
Yeah. So I've never addressed this before on an interview, so I figured I'd make this the first one. So I feel like maybe if it gets out there to somebody and they hear it and it helps them, it makes it all worth the while.
I really think that you.
So basically, from the time I was about 16, 17, I started dabbling into stuff, partying like, you know, normal teenagers do. And it ended up, for me personally, escalating into a very, very serious opiate addiction. And there were levels to it. I mean, it's very hard to come out of something like that, especially come out of it without any like medicine. I didn't believe in substitution. I believed that if you have the willpower to get through it, then you should just have the willpower to get through it.
Okay.
And it was sorry, I'm probably I'm probably gonna stumble on this a little bit, but So 2015 was when the opiate addiction was really heavy, and it ran through. I went to jail. Then I lost all my stuff. All that typical stories. Addict story.
Yeah.
And I had a seizure and quit breathing. My mom and my grandfather had to give me CPR. That was kind of when I started believing in like purpose and like grand, design for things, or whatever deity anyone would choose to call it. Because the timing was just so crazy. I like had this seizure, and then my mom and my grandpa walked in, and they were able to like bring me back. Which, if there's got to be a reason for stuff like that. But anyways, so this was 2017. I'm currently going on 3 years clean. So
Congratulations.
yeah, and it feels different than it has before, because I've gotten off it before and then been okay for a while, and then something happened, or there was a trigger, or whatever, insert reason here. But this time it does feel different because, for one, the music, and I put a lot of this energy into the music instead of putting energy into self-destruction, if that makes sense.
Yeah, absolutely. Music is your therapy, so to speak, then.
Absolutely. No, everybody, we definitely want to make $500,000 million off this, but that in itself, the fact that it kept me from, maybe possibly going back to bad habits is worth, you can't put a dollar sign on that.
You never went to rehab for your addiction then?
No, I didn't. I went to detox after I had that seizure. I was in detox for like 4 days, and I did do NA meetings. I don't go to NA at this moment, but I do support the program, and I do think that if you find the right group, then whatever works for you. I'm not many people can go cold turkey off of that and get through it. So you have to do whatever works for you, because the goal is to get off of the stuff that's killing everybody. Because we've all lost way too many people.
I feel like it's amazing and astonishing to me, though, that because you were on fentanyl, correct?
Yeah.
So most people don't even make it out alive from using it. So for someone to be off of it 3 times and clean 3 years today, cold turkey, you're like a superhero for that, because nobody has that kind of story. So what motivated you? What helped you? Tell everybody about that.
I wish that there was some profound story that I could tell you, and I could tell you the one from the second to last relapse that I had, and it'd be like more, beautiful and have this really poetic storyline to it. But I'm just gonna tell y'all straight up how it went this last time. I was aware of how much it was destroying my life, money wise. I don't even want to say how much I was doing a day. There's no reason why it didn't make sense that I was, maintaining like this. And I woke up that morning. It was March the 6th. And I just didn't want to do it anymore. And I just made a decision. Like, I got rid of what was left, and I just sat out on the road of withdrawal. And those withdrawals, they kicked my ass that time. They're never easy, but I don't think I slept more than an hour for like 12, 13 days. And it was just willpower. It was just determination. I didn't do it for anybody else. I didn't do it for, I did do it for everybody else. I did do it for, music and everything. But like, I did that because I wanted to do it, and I didn't change my mind. So I guess, like, if anybody's listening to this, and what works for me doesn't work for everybody else, but just willpower. If you decide you want to do something, you can do it. Just set your mind to it. It's not going to kill you. What doesn't kill you makes you stronger.
Absolutely. That's so inspirational. I absolutely love that. And I know that ties over into your music today. Just that.
Absolutely.
All the pain does really create the best music. And I know you've been through your fair share. And I love that you're healing through music. And that's so inspirational to so many others out there who really want to do the same.
Absolutely.
So what can we have to look forward to in the future?
Oh, like, what do I have coming?
Yes.
Okay, so I just went through a rebrand. So I was known as KLR,
Okay.
and we just changed it over to That's Kenny.
I love it.
Um, Shouts out to shouts out to the children for coming up with that name for that name for coming up with that name. Um, and so I've released one single under That's Kenny. It's called D to the Bluff, featuring 150 Styles out of Detroit, Michigan,
Okay.
and my brother Nova. Well, not my brother, not my blood brother, but my brother Nova, who is actually Cody's blood brother. So.
Okay.
One of the most talented people in our circle. If he's watching this, John, gotcha. Uh, and it's like a banger, and it sounds like some Memphis. Like a lot of my music doesn't really sound like quote unquote Memphis music, I guess.
Okay.
So I've been wanting to work with more traditional sounds from the city, just to kind of prove a point. And then I've got another single coming out on Friday called Kenneth Cooks.
Okay.
Which it I made that song in 10 minutes because my session was running out and I wasn't going to waste, I paid good money for an hour. I'm not going to leave early. So, shout out to my guy JR from the Bay, who was the engineer in that session.
Okay.
I kind of just went in there and freestyled. I wish there was a picture because I had all four of my books just kind of like in both of my arms. And I'm just reading lyrics off, trying to, coming up, just wasting some time basically.
I love that. And it's your sing, and that comes out September 13th, correct?
Yeah, it does. Yep.
That's
But the whole thing was recorded in 2 takes. And it was basically just done on the spot there. And then we didn't know at first if it was going to be that good. And then JR kept working his magic, and we came up with a pretty, second single I'm dropping. So
super exciting. I love that. Okay, so tell us about what are your musical inspirations? Who's out there today that's inspiring your music style?
Well, my number one inspiration for making rap music would be Lupe Fiasco, which, Eminem also, I pretty much have to say Eminem is at least second or third in that too, maybe equal, because of just the impact that he definitely had on my life as a musician and as a white rapper. Like Eminem's that's our guy,
Yeah.
like that's just what it is,
Yeah. Yes, he's king for sure.
And there's nothing wrong with that. Like, there's nothing wrong with that because what I learned from him more than anything is that you have to be a student of hip hop if you want to participate.
Yeah.
You have to know your shit and you have to come correct. You have to. It teaches a really good code of ethics or whatever for how to operate in that space. But Lupe is my guy. Lupe is my main inspiration. Just for like a smart weird kid like me getting into hip hop that had no idea that shit like this even existed.
Yeah.
To find like the metaphors and the concept albums and the everything means 2, 3, 4 different things was just mind blowing for me at that age, and it for sure inspired me to take music seriously. Another one would be Kendrick Lamar. Man, Kendrick Lamar's.
Lamar, he's one of my favorites as well.
Oh yeah, man, he's a freaking man.
Genius.
Yeah. In my opinion, I think he's going to go down as the best rapper ever. He might already be.
I totally agree with that, 100%.
Like, he hasn't missed at all. Like, I think his closest, I guess the last album is the closest thing to a miss we've got from him. And it's not even at all. It's just the concept's kind of hard to digest for some people. So yeah, no, Kendrick's the truth, man. And then Nas, let me give you some outside of rap inspirations.
Yeah.
I love Marvin Gaye. I love Nickelback. Got a shout out to Nickelback one time.
Nickelback too. From the 90s. Yes. Hello. Love
This is how you.
yes. I love it.
What else we got? I mean, I was raised on metal, a lot of metal. So shouts out to like Kill Switch Engage. Panic at the Disco is not a metal band, but Panic at the Disco. I fuck with Panic at the Disco. Sleeping with Sirens. I liked.
Do you like
like
I love Alkaline Trio. Have you heard of them?
Who?
Alkaline Trio?
No, I haven't. Are they in that same type of
They're
club?
similar. When we get off here, check them out. I really feel like if you like that type of music, you would really love that. Okay, so I have my next question to you is, as a white rapper in Memphis, do you find it that you've been discriminated upon in the industry? Has it been harder for you as a white rapper?
Here, let me think. Yes and no.
Okay.
So like the thing with me is I'm born and raised in Memphis, and we lived like not like we didn't live in like the straight, we didn't live like in South Memphis or anything. We lived in outside of Raleigh, but I was always kind of just raised around black people, so it was like it. I've always felt more comfortable. It's always just been the more comfortable thing for me. Like when I moved to Florida when I was in seventh grade, and I went and got around a bunch of they're probably all doing great things with their lives now. I hated them. Like I was just, bro, I'm Memphis as fuck. I can't even like hide it. So when I started rapping and stuff, and I've always been the person that I am. I've always talked the way that I talk. I've never really felt the need to lie, and nobody that I was around back in the day, they never felt any need to pressure me to be any different than I was. They were like, I was like that smart kid in school who you didn't realize that he was just friends with all the goons, like
Yeah.
like, and that's kind of, oh sorry,
I love that being real.
but that's just kind of how it's always been, and that's kind of how it remains today. And I love, I get a lot of love in Memphis, like from the city, and like my friend BK, he's like, bro, for a Caucasian homie, bro, you got something special, like, and that's what's up, man. But it's any support's good, and it's always gonna be harder, I guess, as a white rapper because a lot of us we just sound the same. I'm not even gonna stunt, like we just sound the same. And then like
What do you mean by sound the same? I don't think that all white rappers sound the same at all.
not all white rappers. No, I'm not saying all white rappers. I'm just saying like for example, I went to a show 3-4 years ago, and it was a showcase, and it literally felt like the same act was on stage for like 6 straight hours, like just because
Boring.
similar beats. And like, not to hate on anybody, I'm just saying from a distance, from an outside, coming in, didn't know anybody there, it just sounded like the same person almost. So that's not throwing shade at anybody. I mean, I think that I think it's definitely harder, but it's supposed to be harder, man. We're like, not to say we're visitors, because people, you can make your own lane. Hip hop's universal,
Yeah.
but we are like, you got to follow what Eminem says, man. It goes back to what Eminem taught us all, or whatever. You respect the culture, and you do what you're supposed to do, and you try to stand out, and you work your ass off, and you'll get noticed.
Standing that inner voice, that voice that you were born and raised with, that God put into you, that's what's going to set you on fire. A lot of people are really afraid, I feel, because my biggest issue with up and coming artists is that I feel like a lot of people are yes men to the masses because they're afraid to stand out because they don't want to upset anybody. And what I love about you in particular is that you are so comfortable with who you are, and you just want to let that flow through you with respect to everybody, but like be authentically yourself and original.
I'm very glad that that's the type of energy I give off, because that's I mean, honestly, that's not how I am. Like when I'm thinking in my head or whatever, it's like completely different. It's like I do think about stuff like that, like, oh, I should make this hook this way, or I need this type of song. They just never end up making the final cut for projects, or even becoming real songs, because at the end of the day, I've got to stay true to what got me here and what started me out on this road. Because all my favorite artists, Mac Miller. Mac Miller is one of my biggest inspirations ever. Sorry, I can't believe I forgot Mac Miller. R.I.P. In my experience, being a fan of hip hop and music in general, the ones who stay authentic and who aren't afraid to be different and take like these gigantic risks, like Prince or Eminem, who else? Tupac,
It is.
They're the ones who can go the furthest, but they also it's choppy water. It's a lot. For every Tupac, there's 1,000, 10,000 people who had the same type of ideas and just didn't work out.
For a lot, it goes to who has the drive and the desire to keep going. And I love your story though, Kenny, because you have gone through so many struggles, lost everything, gone through addiction, lost friends to it, lost your mom, and you are still standing on who you are today. And you're killing it. You are so talented. You give off an insane energy. So I
No,
think,
I really appreciate that, man. I think y'all are gonna really like. Everybody's gonna really like this new music I've got coming. I'm sitting on a lot of music already, and I'm working on, let's see, 2, 4, 6, 8. I got 9 on my list right now that I need to record,
okay.
and a lot of collabs coming up. But I'm gonna kind of go a little bit more mainstream, but it's gonna be done in a really dope way. Like I want to go mainstream the way that Kendrick went mainstream. You
Hell
know,
yeah.
like
It's exciting.
um, and it's I work. I mean, with the help of my team, man, I couldn't do anything without Lagodi. Like for real, big shout out to everybody. True Vocals, Lauren Badass, Cody Crazy, of course. We got Nova, we got Mr. Clicksta, the OG. We got Ox Logan, we got DJ Black Gold. We got. I'm gonna miss somebody, and I'm gonna feel really, really bad. Everybody, man. Like Chad Blunt, he like makes some of the fucking best beats in Memphis. And good people. Uh, and my brother Byron, bro, he's not part of the Lagodi, but he's produced a lot for me. Um, Without these people, I like draw inspiration from all of them, and they say that they draw inspiration from me, but it's a two-way street. Um,
That's something about collabs. Who are you going to collab with in the future?
well, so what I've got worked like the collabs that I've dropped most recently is the 150 Styles and Nova, the NXVX, which that's a fire ass song. And then I have this song called Voicemails with me, Nova, and XVX, and Lord Byron Sound, who it's like one of my favorite songs ever. It's on my TikTok. You should be able to you'll see it if you go to my page. And it's a story song, and it's about like a girl. You know, both of my homies was going through some things or whatever, and I had to come over and cheer them up. I was fine, so I wasn't really tripping. But the way these things go, I'm like they're both depressed and whatnot. So I was like, all right, bet I'm gonna get on y'all's level. I write the most depressing verse I've ever written in my life. Like, oh my god. uh, and then these folks bamboozled me because like Byron came through on his best Gucci Mane, toxic type of behavior ever, and then Nova he just set it off on some player shit, and I feel like I was set up. Like,
That's a
uh,
lot of fun.
but as far as in the works right now, I'm gonna be on Cody Crazy's album, which the song that we got for that motherfucker is some heat. I believe it's a hit. Um, this is gonna be the third time me and Cody linked officially, and we have a little rivalry going on. We're 1-1, so I gotta up him. You know.
Little bit of competition.
Oh yeah, no, I mean steel sharpens steel. I feel like if I'm not gonna front and say I'm not in competition with my peers, even though that's my brother. Like I still wanna. We both want to rap better than each other on a song like this.
Yeah, that's brother shit for sure.
Mhm.
That's brother
And it's
shit.
not, I mean, it's about making good music, and it's always done in the right context. But I mean, that's what this hip hop shit is about. It's about competition. Who are you? It's about being the best.
It is. It is.
Um, then I got a track with Mauser. I don't know if you know who Mauser is.
I do not.
Well, you need to. Hey, I ain't gonna link you. We need to link you up with Mauser because he's good people. Lauren's collabed with him on "Back in My Bag," which is my favorite Lauren Badass song. It's her, Mauser, and Cody. Good dude. Me and him are linking up to do a song that I think it's gonna be fun. Folks are gonna say I sold out, but it's gonna be fun.
Why are you going to say you sold out?
Well, it's called Hell Nah, and like that's all I'll give up on it. That's all I'll give on it. It's gonna be the most like. If folks don't get the concept I'm going for, they're gonna be like, "Oh, look at him, he's doing this and that and this." I can hear it now, but I don't give a fuck. Oh, I can't forget. Ooh, I would have been in trouble if I forgot that one. Sorry. One more. My lovely girlfriend Katie is on this song that we actually recorded over the weekend. It's her first time ever singing on an actual track, but she did a fantastic job. And it's called "The Art of Letting Go." And it's one of my very deep songs. It's very pain type music. So that's just some of the ones I got lined up. It's really busy. I got like 10 collabs on my list at the moment.
That's really, really, really exciting. So we have a lot to look forward from you. Where can we find your music?
You can find me on all platforms under. It's gonna be kind of complicated. All right, so all new music from me is going to be released under That's Kenny. So that's THATS, no space, Kenny, KENNY. So anything that I drop from this moment on will be under that name. Now, my old music, like Hell in Great Heights and all of the Basement on Fire and all that stuff, it's gonna be under KLR.
Okay.
But that's all platforms on for both. Then I've got if you get through those two levels of music, there's also I've got like a SoundCloud that has just a bunch of whole different shit going on.
For true fans to be able to find those things, though, so it's important to let us know where those can be found.
Absolutely. It's the SoundCloud's kind of like, I mean, it's not a burner in the traditional sense, but it's kind of just like where I put ideas, and then my OG YouTube channel, KLR Archives, which has everything back to my first song ever. That's some heat. That's my favorite. If something ever happens to that channel, I'm gonna cry.
You did not send me that link. Now I'm gonna have to go listen to that after and look that up.
I got you. Well, there's a whole lot of shit on there, and a lot of it isn't good. You can literally watch me learn how to rap.
Yeah, but that's the best stuff, though, because you can look back and say, oh my God, I've come so far today from there. And no, that's inspiring. That's where the raw and the real is, because you learn from that moment. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. No, absolutely. I don't believe in pulling songs off the internet. I feel like you should. I feel like once the music is made and put out, it should be out. I don't care what happens between me and the person that I collaborated on it with. I don't care. It's music. The music literally has less to do with the people who made it by the time that it's out like that. Tell
us about your most controversial topic. Like, what is your most controversial opinion?
My most controversial opinion? Man. All right. I'm a big Kanye West fan and a Kanye West supporter. I mean, I just am. And I'm not saying that he's done some very questionable things. I think he definitely has some issues, but he's an artist, man. I mean, and like a lot of your great artists throughout history have been extremely mentally unstable people.
Yeah, and people are crazy.
Right. I mean, like look at like all of them. The Jimi Hendrix, like every single, like damn near every single like once in a generation type musician is kind of they have to be, because they come up with these ideas. But Kanye West, he's just such a big impact on hip hop in general and music in general.
Fashion.
Fashion. Hell, the man's been in so many different rooms. Like he's been in rooms with freaking the people that run the world, people that own the color blue, freaking Jay-Z, the designer people. And he also seems like he's still pretty much the same dude to a certain extent.
Authentic to himself, which I love. And no matter what version of him is out there, he's like, this is me, and I'm unapologetic about it, and fuck you for thinking otherwise. Like, he does not care. And I think there's a lot to be said about that. And you give off that type of vibe, though. You give off that type of vibe in a much nicer, kinder way, but you give off that vibe.
Right. And, I'm only a product of my influences.
Yeah, but
Kanye's another gigantic influence. I mean, his beats and the way that he goes about albums and stuff, it's one of a kind. It's just, he's at the end of his career or whatever now, but you got to look about how many times, if you just know your like music like that, or your rap music like that, how many times he's come in and ushered in like a brand new wave,
Oh yeah. And but it's don't, at the very end of whatever you want to call their career for music, I feel like everybody pivots off in different directions, and it's so exciting. So at the very end, let's say you're 20 years from now, you have done everything you wanted to musically. What is your dream at the very end of the day to do after music?
Oh man, this is going to be anticlimactic. My dream is to one day be old and fat. That's literally very, very simple.
Old and fat, he said.
Yeah. I've never been able to get above 140 pounds my whole life because metabolism. And, with what I've gone through in life and having lost so many people, if I make it to be old and fat in 20 years, I'll be super happy.
I love that. I love that. You're gonna do all those like mukbang videos on YouTube. Like, look at me. I love that.
Oh yeah, man, I'm doing everything that I can. Yeah, I'm gonna embrace it. I'm gonna embrace it fully.
I love that.
But that's after we finish like freaking flexing on the rap game for the next 20 years.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. All right. So tell me who your least favorite musical artist is.
My least favorite musical artist?
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of somebody that folks will know. And I'm trying to not cause any freaking drama with nobody and get nobody's feelings hurt. So, buffering.
No, it's everybody's so scared, and I totally get it though. Like it is good to be respectful, but just personally, without caring about anyone's feelings, who is your least favorite? Because you know what, everybody has.
I think the White Sosa is incredibly overrated, and I don't think that he deserves as much attention as he's gotten. And from things that I've heard through the grapevine, I saw him live one time. He opened up for Gangsta Boo, and dude, I hate arrogant people, man. I mean, I guess he's earned it, I guess, but. I don't care for him. I guess if I had to pick somebody, my least favorite artist, that'd probably be it.
Yeah, I mean everybody's got a least favorite artist, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, you're not going into that too much, but yeah, you feel me.
I feel you for sure. Okay, so do you write all your own music, and do you have music videos out there as well?
I don't have any official music videos. I do have one that we did like a long time ago, back in the first iteration of Lagodi, I guess you could call it. But we shot it on a phone and stuff. But I am working on music videos. There is I have big plans. I have a lot of them drawn out. It's just honestly the big hold up at the moment is budget, because we are all supplying ourselves, and this is the team. We all help each other out when we can, but it's it's hard out here. Bro. I mean, like what they say in Hustle and Flow.
Absolutely, I totally feel
but the eulogy video, drug induced eulogy, that'll be the first one I filmed. And it's gonna be an awesome video. I've been able to see it in my head for almost 2 years now, and then I just want to do some regular mobbing type. I have some funny ideas. I've kind of ventured off into comedy lately, so I want to kind of combine the two.
Yeah, tell us more about that.
The comedy stuff.
Yeah.
It totally happened by accident. I guess. When you go through turmoil and whatnot and face adversity like I have in the past couple of years, some people just get cynical and funny. Mm-hmm. And I'm guessing that's what's happened here. Because I didn't think I was actually funny and shit until I heard from multiple different people oh, you should do a stand-up routine. And I'm like, oh yeah, sure. Y'all trying to set me up. Then I realized folks was serious.
Yeah.
So the videos, the skits, shouts out to Nova for helping me film those skits, the promotional video with the pot and stuff. We did that at IKEA. We were not planning on shooting skits that day, and it's fun. I enjoy it. Just with the podcasting stuff, I've done. I'm not on a podcast at this moment, but I'm a guest on a few.
Yeah. And
I want to incorporate all of that into pushing my music and pushing just myself, because, I think people want to hear what I have to say.
Absolutely.
So until they tell me otherwise,
So I love that. Comedy is such a great therapy too. I love comedy. I have such dark humor, and so I love that shit. I love music is such a great therapy. Comedy is a great therapy. Everyone loves to laugh, so I love that you're kind of venturing into both of those categories and thriving. So I cannot wait to see. So you post on YouTube a lot. Are you going to be posting these comedy skits on your channel?
Once we start filming more, the first one's kind of happens for the moment. So the next ones, I've talked to a couple people about doing some stuff, and I've got some ideas, but we're just going to kind of play it by ear. Okay. But it'll be on my TikTok for sure, because that's how I kind of ended up with a TikTok in the first place, because Nova posted the Diet Coke skit, and he's like, "You're blowing up on TikTok," and I was like, "Oh, okay, that makes sense. That's why everything else is going crazy."
I love that one.
Oh, you talking about the Diet Coke joint?
Yeah, that one was good. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, dude, that sucked, and that's all real as fuck too. We're in the middle of trying to record a song, and we had no drink except for Diet Coke, and
that's the only drink in my opinion, though. I love me some Diet Coke, so.
I do not. If y'all couldn't tell, I don't. I said I meant to be like, damn. After I drank it, I meant to be like, damn, but I was like, damn.
I love that. I love that.
And then The Kenneth Cooking promotional video, that's dope. We did that. I love that we did that at IKEA. That's probably got to be, shouts out to IKEA. We love you.
Yeah, that is actually really cool. I would have never known because I thought you were at home in your own kitchen. Which is
Man, I wish.
IKEA is such a great setup. Everybody's dream house is IKEA. But I really thought you were at home making that.
I mean, I guess that's the goal, right? Well, the reason I didn't pick up the actual pot to hit him with it, at the end, to be like, hey, bro, is because they were all nailed down to the thing. So I picked up the only thing that was not nailed down.
I thought it was because you didn't want to go to jail. But I love that it wasn't nailed down.
That too. But yeah. Yes. Exactly.
I love it. Okay. I have a question that I ask every single person because I feel like everyone will be able to tell the type of person you are with this question. Okay. If you were on death row, what would your last meal be?
My last meal?
Yeah. If you're on death row, you're dying tonight. What are you eating?
I'm gonna have to get them to make our family has a recipe, it's called chicken divan, and my mom made it a lot throughout my life. I know how to make it. My grandmother, it's been passed down. I'd want some of that, just a pan of that, or just whatever, a good serving of that, to get myself ready mentally and physically for what comes next. Yeah, and if my second option, if that was too much, would be man, give me some hamburger steak with freaking mashed potatoes and gravy and some freaking macaroni and cheese, and some good macaroni and cheese,
Southern food.
Yeah, comfort food.
Southern comfort food. I love that. That's super cool. What do you think if you were to be on death row? What do you think you were most likely to go to prison for?
Me? I could see myself going to prison mostly for probably protesting the government, honestly. Probably some shit like that. Because in 2020 when stuff started popping off, I was surprised. I surprised myself about how with the shit I was,
Yeah.
So that's kind of imprisonment I anticipate. I mean, now that I've cleaned up my act as far as the substances and whatnot, I don't really worry about that. I don't really see myself hurting anybody unless it came down to it. I would probably be self-defense, but I guess that could be an option. But yeah, definitely protesting the government if some atrocity happened or something, and they're throwing people in jail for that. I'll go to jail for that any day of the week.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I love that. You have so many opinions, and I love that you branch out to comedy and all of the music scenes that you're in. And I love Lagodi Entertainment. Lagodi now, you said it is.
Lagodi trademark. Yeah, I don't. Something like that.
I love that. Okay, so you have a single coming out September 13th. Let everybody know what it is again and where we can find it.
Yeah, so September 13th, it'll be out midnight September 13th, all platforms under That's Kenny. So that's THATS KENNY, no space. And the song is called Kenneth Cooks. So Kenneth KENNETH Cooks.
I love that.
And, that's a banger. For a 10-minute song, it's pretty freaking impressive, if I may say so myself.
Absolutely. I cannot wait. And I'm going to go check out that YouTube channel that you said, because I wish you would have told me what your very first rap song. So I'm going to...
It's a whole lot of shit is the only reason I didn't tell you.
Can't wait. All right. So thank you so much, Memphis Rapper Kenny. That's Kenny. And we look forward to seeing so much more of you in the future. And I appreciate you coming on the show.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. Shout out to everybody. Shout out to Psycho Memphis. I'll be back anytime. Appreciate it.